Hey, well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day, and I thank you for tuning in. And those coming in for the first time, I thank you. And those who have been consistently supporting me, I thank you as well. But on today's episode, yes, I'm talking about what does the Bible say about anxiety? Some people worry about when Trump takes the elect president, the elect Donald Trump take office this coming January. On today's episode with Zaccheus with another live word of the day. And some people do worry. Remember, migrants that are here, they're worried that's living in the tri-state area in New York City. They're worried to be deported or to go back to the country where they come from. Worried. Some women are worried that they're worried about not having certain rights as far as abortion and certain things, not having certain rights that's put in place. People are worrying. Well, join me as I dive into scriptures about anxiety, and I'm going to have some news clips I'm going to share too as well with you. So join me on this journey. Yeah, man.
3 suspected gang members were arrested for the murder of a man and the kidnappings of 2 children in Farmers Branch earlier this year.
So the suspects were located in Colorado and New Mexico. A 4th person is still on the run. Authorities believe those suspects and the murder victim were all members of a Venezuelan street gang running an ATM theft operation. Fox 4's David Santendri has more on how the gang operates. David.
Yeah, and police right now have not said what exactly the connection is between these reported Venezuelan gang members and North Texas.
Venezuela is a unique situation because the political situation there is very unstable.
Tren de Aragua is a Venezuelan gang that 4 North Texas capital murder suspects are affiliated with, according to Farmers Branch Police Department. On August 24th, the body of 33-year-old Nizilt Petit was found on Valley View Lane in Irving. Police say the 33-year-old was kidnapped and shot in the head at an apartment in Farmers Branch. Petit was allegedly working with the people who killed him in a nationwide ATM theft scheme and failed to pay them.
It's a fairly common, organized type strategy.
Attorney John Helms, a former federal prosecutor not connected to this case, says ATM thefts are commonly targeted by criminals away from their home base.
Some will know how to do it. They'll recruit other people, show them how to do it, and then they go off to different places around the country, hit some ATMs, and then come back. And that makes it harder to find them if they're hitting ATMs that are a long way away from where they're based out of.
2 of the capital murder suspects were arrested by ICE in Aurora, Colorado, where alleged gang activity has played an exceptionally large role in politics. A 3rd suspect was found and arrested in Las Cruces, New Mexico, by Homeland Security. A 4th suspect is on the run.
I haven't seen much information indicating any significant presence in North Texas, other than in a couple of isolated spots.
According to Insight Crime, a nonprofit which specializes in following organized crime, Tren de Aragua began in a Venezuelan prison, spreading into other South American countries in 2018 while smuggling migrants.
Helping people to get into other countries illegally.
Insight Crime further explains this rapid expansion came largely on the backs of the nearly 8 million desperate Venezuelans who have fled their country since 2015 looking for a better life, whereas the world looked at this mass migration and saw a humanitarian crisis. Tren de Aragua saw a business opportunity, and it took full advantage.
Criminal gangs can seize on that opportunity to extort them and commit crimes against them.
Tren de Aragua is connected to crimes ranging from sex trafficking to cybercrime. It's unclear how many gang affiliates are now in the U.S., but Insight Crime says there's no evidence members are coordinating on a national level in the U.S.
Small pockets in a few isolated areas.
Those four alleged killers also allegedly kidnapped two juvenile family members of the man they killed, but then let those two juveniles go. I reached out to Farmers Branch Police Department earlier today asking for an on-camera interview, but they say they are not making anyone available.
Yeah, and this is why the Trump administration want them, some people deported, migrants deported, because they have some gangs. Not everybody's in a gang. There are some people that's working really hard and been here for a long time. And the good abiding citizens, the good abiding people that came from different countries, and they're working hard, trying to provide for their family, but yet they have Venezuelan gangs and from South America, Venezuela, that are causing mayhem, chaos. You see what they're doing? Be careful where you put your ATM cards. You can't put your ATM cards everywhere. If you're in certain areas, like Colorado, Texas, gotta be careful because they have the gangs, Venezuelan gangs that's hitting the ATMs, causing mayhem and chaos in certain cities in the US. And this is the problem when you have a fluctuation of illegal immigrants that come and do it. And it's fair game. Fair game. You're gonna have some good people that come and they want to work hard. They want to seize the opportunity to work hard, but you're gonna have some people that are not so good, cause mayhem, more crime, and more chaos. So this is why this is why some people are worried because they're worried about being sent back to their own country.
Trump sparking fears in many neighborhoods in our area about how he will deal with undocumented immigrants. During the campaign, including this week, he promised mass deportations. For the record, there are an estimated 1.2 million undocumented immigrants living in the tri-state area right now.
And just this afternoon, New York City ended a program that gives vouchers to migrants to pay for food. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett is live in Foley Square in Lower Manhattan with our lead story tonight. NJ.
Right, Liz, down here in Lower Manhattan, where a rally is about to begin. Undocumented immigrants and their supporters determined to push back. Well, tonight, critics say mass deportations are unfeasible, unaffordable, and could damage the city's economy. There are an estimated 412,000 undocumented immigrants living in New York City. Yatsiri Tovar says her mom and dad are two of them.
My parents have been living here for more than 30 years, and I think they see themselves as New Yorkers as anybody else.
Yatsiri is taking Donald Trump at his word that he will carry out his campaign promise to use immigration agents to round up and deport mass numbers of undocumented immigrants. The fear on the streets in places like Bushwick, Brooklyn, and Jackson Heights, Queens, is real. I am afraid, this man told us. I have children and grandchildren, and I work hard. It would be unfair to deport us. New York is a sanctuary city where undocumented immigrants are largely shielded from immigration agents. Those convicted of serious crimes do face deportation, but police commanders believe they're a tiny percentage of the thousands who poured into the city since 2022. Trump says he wants to deport millions.
You're not talking about just criminals. There aren't a million criminals to get. You're talking about families, and that's the real concern here.
Mayor Adams has already spoken with the president-elect, but refused to say today whether deportations were discussed.
I don't go into conversations I have with people.
Large-scale deportations would hurt New York. Catherine Wild runs the city's most influential business group.
They're contributing to our economy, and they're paying taxes. And they've been here often for 10, 20 years without having legal status. Any policy that fundamentally disrupts that population will have a big impact on our economy and on our city as a whole.
Yatsiri says the community is right to be worried.
There is some fear of what could happen to family members of mine, friends of mine who are undocumented, because we know that the Trump administration has said that coming after immigrants.
Advocates say current laws don't go far enough. Tonight, they're appealing to state lawmakers for help. Now, to be clear, the number of migrants entering New York City has fallen off dramatically in recent months. The vast majority are no longer in the city's care.
Trump sparking fears in many neighborhoods.
Yeah, migrants came here. Yeah, Work hard. I'm a migrant. People came here to work hard. Families, my family came to come here, became U.S. citizens, been here for years, and finally became U.S. citizens. And all became U.S. citizens. And the thing is that New York City is a melting pot. But the way how the Democratic Democratic administration did this is they brought them in illegally, and they have some migrants that been here illegally, and they're not documented, but they work hard. They work really hard. But I'm 100% for the people that come here and they cause crimes, get them out of here, deport them. But the families that are here struggling to survive and to work, and they working hard, they're trying to make an honest living, try to keep them here to try to keep them here to contribute to the economy. And I agree with that. I don't agree with kicking everybody out and leaving their families behind, because some people are here to gain opportunity and to work hard. They don't ask for a handout like some Americans that are born here do. They don't ask for a handout. They don't. They come here, they work. They don't. Some of them don't even want a handout because they're not used to that. They're used to coming here and they're used to working hard. Let's turn to a scripture. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. Casting all your anxieties on him because he cares. Casting all your anxieties on the Lord because he cares. No need to, easier for me to say because I'm a citizen to not worry about it, getting kicked out and getting deported because I'm not a US citizen. But if you have time before January is when this Trump administration take office. And I would always do my due diligence and look into researching how to become a US citizen in 2024 if you want to be have full notification here, good notary here, good documented that you will become a US citizen. You're interested in becoming a US citizen. But to just stay undocumented, it's not a smart thing to do, because Lord knows when January 20 coming and that gets put into place, and it's gonna be a problem. So make sure if you're here, and you're coming from another country, make sure that you look into becoming a citizen. And one thing I was mad about the perks that the migrants was getting. Yeah, I was a little annoyed and upset about that. That they were getting the debit cards and getting certain perks and getting certain privileges that U.S. citizens wasn't hardworking U.S. citizens wasn't getting. But people that want to contribute and not just take but contribute, and yes, maybe get some of the perks, but they're trying to do the right thing towards their family. Yeah, but when you want to take everybody and just, because I remember one time in 2017, never forget it, when the Trump administration was separating children from their separating children from their families, and didn't agree with that. I was totally against that. But now it's a different era now. It's 2024 going into 2025. 2025, and in 2025, things are going to change. And I'm saying that migrants have the opportunity to become citizens and look into becoming a US citizen if you're going to stay. It's only the right thing to do. If you're staying in long in the place, look into becoming a citizen. Let's turn to a scripture. Psalms 55:22. Cast your burdens on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. So if you're a person that's a praying person, a praying that's seeking God, it doesn't matter how things look, how things come at you. If you're trusting the Lord, even if you're a migrant right now and you're not a citizen yet, God will show you and He'll protect you. He'll show you the way how to become a citizen, and He'll give you way, no matter how things look, no matter how the administration look. That's coming, that's soon to come. God always looks out for His people. He always looks out for the people that are seeking Him, the people that are putting God first, the people that are praying with their families, the people that put God first and trust in Him in every step of the way.
Despite Kamala Harris not winning, numbers show massive turnout for her from certain groups. One of those, Black women voters. An NBC News exit poll of 10 battleground states shows more than 90% of Black women voted for Harris. Our Jenna Ray talked with these three women, Dolores, Angelina, and Sabrina. They're reacting to the vice president's loss.
For months leading up to the election, we saw Black women voters mobilizing across the Cream City.
We operated under one premise, that was the American people would not tolerate what Trump was presenting.
Sabrina Jordan was one of them.
When you're working towards something that you think is important, a cause, it creates a kind of unity.
Unity, women tell me, was felt as they watched the first African American woman run for president.
It was amazing, honestly. It was amazing. I didn't think it was something I would be able to see in my lifetime, but it was amazing to see.
But now that the votes are in,
it was really just frustration, a little bit of disbelief.
For some, they say it's the unknown future that's concerning.
From our point of view, it's a change in the way that you live. As a Black woman with Black and Mexican grandchildren, it's frightening.
What's going to happen with our kids and the reproductive rights for women?
And for others, they're trying to keep the faith.
Don't feel defeated. Just keep the faith, because God is still in control. Trump can't do no more than God want him to do. So I'm not worried about it. I put my faith in God, not in man.
In Milwaukee, Jenna Ray.
Despite Kamala Harris not winning,
there was a number of sisters, Black women, that were angry. They're little just frustrated and annoyed that Kamala Harris lost. She lost. And they got angry at brothers, telling Black men that, some Black men that, well, don't get mad at us. Don't get angry at us when stop and frisk come back. Now, I took it like, well, okay. Stop and frisk come back. Crime is crazy. And they'll say that, well, all right, as Black women, we won't have control over our bodies. Listen, and I agree with the woman at the end, the Black woman, elder Black woman at the end, respect a whole lot. I respect all the Black women, but with this one at the end that said, out of the street are spoken. God can only, God is in control, not Donald Trump, but God is in control. God is in control. So don't just, the government this and this, worried and just frustrated and just worried about your rights being taken away, worried about stop and frisk, worried about a whole lot of things, worried about. Remember, when you put God at the author of your life, He's in control. Not the government, not man, but God is in control. Let's turn to a scripture, Psalms 56 verses 3. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. When I am afraid, I put my trust in God. So why should we be worrying? Why should we be fretting? Why should we be, this and that, worrying and fretting and scared? When you're walking with God, God has got your back. When you're walking with the Lord, why should we worry so much? And some of us women just want to do what we want to do. We want to pray God in our own eyes. We're wise in our own eyes. And we don't want to take God for His word. My sister, seek God today. No government control your destiny. Yes, they may control the laws and the rules of the land, but God controls your final destiny. Controls your final destiny. And the thing is that decisions you make in life determines your destination. God controls your destiny. Now you have to make the final decision. What moves you're gonna make, what decisions you make. Yeah, so this election and the coming seat, coming January 20th, a lot of people, especially, and I have to say this because there are some black women that went the other way, that voted red. But, but a lot of black women voted blue for Kamala. And they were very annoyed with their male counterparts, very upset with us that we went and we voted for Trump to get into office. Now, no need to get bent out of shape, no need to get upset. Because at the end of the day, you make your moves. At the end of the day, you make your final decision that what you do in your life. You make the final decision. Regulations or rules are in the place, yes. But at the end of the day, you make the final decision. Now we had you see, that's the thing. If we stood in unity, we were more in unison, black people. If we were more in unison, maybe it would have been different. Maybe we learn how to support each other's businesses and learn how to stand in unity and learn to support each other, businesses, endeavors, and instead of being in so much competition, maybe we'll have a huge community. Maybe we'll have a more a camaraderie, a more in unison, who we put in office or not. But we're so divided as a people that black men and white and black women divided. We break up so much. Never, it's always when you go a lot of black folks come from single parents. Single parents, it starts from the home. Unity starts within the home, starts within the community, but it also starts within the home too as well. You're breaking up, simplest things. And that's what it is. Now the live word of the day is coming out of Psalms 34 verses 4. I sought the Lord and he answered me and delivered me from all fears. But this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings. Until next time. And if you like what I shared, smash that like button. Also subscribe to my channel, Zaccheus Gospel. I got more coming for you. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings.